on the topic mastering TNA and or targeted learning solution. Please welcome Encik Ahmad Fauzan Osman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning. Okay guys, I'm going to start off the session with a story, a grandfather story. When I was small, my late grandfather told me a story, and this story happened a long time ago in a place where Malaysia was not known as Malaysia yet. Yes, Tanah Melayu. So during that time, our money was huge. Our money was huge. But there were still people who were not living comfortably and well off. So there was this one family in one kampung area, and in that family, there was a very, Japanese would call it kashikoi, very smart, intelligent young boy. But he understood the fact that his family was not rich, couldn't afford a lot of things. So the father one day offered him, "Hey, I see you wanting to learn. You are very keen on learning, you are very smart, very intelligent. I have a little bit of money with me. I would like to give you this money. Go find any teacher, school, whatever that can teach you any ilmu, any knowledge, any skill with the amount of money that I am giving you right now." So the father gave the boy. The boy look at money. He thinks it's a lot. So he went on. One guru after another, one school after another. Every door he knocked, he was rejected. "How can you pay me this amount of fee for my vast experience knowledge?" That echoed over time until this boy was frustrated. He said, "Kenapa semua orang nak duit yang besar? I have this big money with me, but no one is willing to teach me anything. Macam mana?" So this boy sat beside the road, termenung, thinking about, I cannot go back. My father gave me this money. If I don't go back with something that I learned, a lesson, then, it's just a waste of time. I cannot. And then came an old man, white hair, janggut. I would say like Encik Sofian, but then again, Encik Sofian tak ada janggut. White hair, came approached this boy and said, "Boy, are you okay?" He said, "I want to learn, but nobody's willing to teach me." Dia kata, "Okay, I'll teach you something for whatever amount of money you have in your hand right now. But I only say it once. I will only say it once. No repeat, Listen carefully." So the boy was very keen, like you guys right now. Semua tunggu je, apa ilmu yang dia nak bagi ni? And the boy took out a coin 1 sen. Dia bawa keluar duit 1 sen and said, "Here's the money. Okay, please teach me." So the old man said, listen carefully, "Apa nak dapat?" What did the old man say? "Apa nak dapat." What does it mean? You get what you want. So now I ask you, was the boy cheated? Was he scammed? What was the lesson? Apa nak dapat? What you want, you'll get. So when Cik Sofian came on the stage early this morning and said, "You are here to learn, network and whatnot. Whatever you want, out of these 2 days, you will get. You want to learn something, you will learn something. But what that something is, I don't know. It's up for you to decide. If you are here to network, you will network. But with whom? I don't know. It's up for you to decide. If you come here with a specific intent to want to learn something very specific, inshallah, you will get that knowledge. You will get it. But if you don't have anything specific in mind, you won't get anything out of it. Okay? So ingat apa nak dapat. You all boleh faham kan bahasa kebangsaan kan? Apa nak dapat boleh faham Boleh, right? Right. Because I'm going to mix my delivery for one specific fact. I love my country. Anybody here loves your country? You all love our country, right? We heard about what Cik Sofian mentioned. Our country is in dire need of good teachers, good trainers, good coaches, speakers who can impart knowledge, skills, and the right behavior for the country to grow. That is why we are here. That is my intention. My name is Fauzan, and I'll share through this next 1.5 hour, plus minus, something that I know, not a lot, but what I know in terms of this topic right here. Okay? So, moving forward, we all know that our country has a gap. But before we go into that, we all understand that, we all love our country, right? We want to improve our country, right? Betul tak? Betul kan? We want to improve our country. So you guys are here to do that, right? Or you are here to, do business, make money. How many of you guys here are here to make money? Very good, very honest sir. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. The rest? Okay, bagus. Siapa yang tak angkat tangan, those who did not raise your hand, I salute you. Those of you who raise your hand, okay, never mind. Never mind. It is why you are here. No problem. If you can get something out of the session, alhamdulillah, that's good. Now, our country, Malaysia, is a very, very beautiful country. Beautiful scenery, weather is nice, beautiful people, beautiful culture. Betul tak? It's such a nice place that a lot of people come here to cari makan. Betul tak? Now, are we also actively cari makan in our country? Are we doing it right? And that is my intention of this topic, because we're going to talk about training needs analysis. I'm sure you have heard about training needs analysis before. But the end goal right here is not for you to do TNA on your participants. It is something else. We'll take a look at that. So Malaysia as a country is a very unique country. Betul tak? Do you agree that it's a very, very unique country? You won't get anything like this outside of Malaysia. It's very unique. As a country, we are very diversified. Melayu, Cina, India, Dusun, Kadazan, and many, many more. Betul tak? So now, because we are unique and you are diversified, logically, we may not want the same thing, especially when it comes to training. Logically, because we are diversified, we may require different learning. So one size may not fit all. How many training outlines of the same topic that you have? I repeat, how many outlines, training outlines of the same topic do you have? How many should you have? For context, before I was the director of Access Ideas Malaysia, I was an employee. I was an employee asked to do training for internal people. And because I was doing training for internal people, I was not paid, of course. Okay? I had experience as an internal trainer. I found passion in what I did. I started off teaching Japanese language for my colleagues, just for fun, and so that I don't forget Japanese. And then I discovered, hey, this is something that I like. Then I went out, I did full-time freelance. Okay? When I was a full-time freelance trainer for a good couple of years, I had about 132 training outlines. I developed a lot because every time I meet different people, they require different things. When they require different things, it's only logical that you create something that fits their needs. Because Malaysia is unique, Malaysia is diversified. You take the same program outside, they may not want it. Remember Cik Sofian's story just now? Went to Terengganu, they asked to do it in Bahasa. Why? They said, half of what was delivered could not be understood. Malaysia is unique. Malaysia is diversified. Do you agree? Okay. And because of that, we have a broad gap. Just travel about one and a half hour outside of KL, you will see the uniqueness, the diversity, and also the gap. Right? So I'm setting the stage for today with the tone, trying to pick up, echoing what Cik Sofian has mentioned earlier on, because at the end of the day, for those who are here to make money, you should have seen this before. Have you guys followed the HRD Corp social media? LinkedIn, IG, Facebook, everything? You follow everything? You would have seen this. And if you've seen this, this is data. And data speaks. Again, I don't want to be replicating everything that Cik Sofian did, but I too was an engineer. So being an engineer, data is very crucial. So as you can see here, let's take a look at something very interesting. This is where we are. Utilization of the fund is quite efficient. But travel out a little bit, here, you see, there's a gap. And if you compare East Coast region with Sabah region, number of employers are more or less the same. Levy collected, not far off. But levy distributed, you can see a huge gap. So the question, if you're going to go and sell a training program, where should you go to? Where? Sabah, Sarawak. Good thought. Not saying it's wrong. But have you ever gone to Sabah and Sarawak to market a training program? You should try. You should try. Then you will realize what you have may not fit them. Because it doesn't fit them, you need to do training needs analysis. When you do training needs analysis, there you will realize a few things. You send an email, they don't open your email. Why? They think it is a scam. Because people are saying that, don't open your email, it's a scam. So email marketing doesn't work in Sabah and Sarawak, sorry to say. It may work for certain products, definitely not training. I've been to Sabah and Sarawak very recently, last month. I spoke to the HRD officers there, Kuching, and also in Sabah. The number one thing that we need to do if we're going to go there is actually create awareness. The only reason you have this large gap here is because of awareness on training. You don't have that here. This line right here, no issue. Everybody knows about training. It's whether they are aware they want to utilize the HRD fund or not for training. Some even go to the extent that I don't want to use the HRD fund because it's limiting. If you know, you know, right? The fee is limited. There's only a certain amount that you can utilize. So they have other budgets, right? So that's number one. The first thing that we need to understand is Malaysia is diversified. It's very unique. There's a broad gap. Okay? So do whatever you need to do with that thought in mind. By the way, if you have any questions along the way, by all means, please ask. I think the team can circulate mics so I can hear you. Because it's very crucial to get the context right. If you get the context right, then moving forward should be a bit easier. Okay? Boleh? Alright. So moving along. Today I'm going to talk about the why, the what, the how to in a very short, concise manner. I'll have some activities that needs to be done. So I don't want you to just sit there and listen. You will need to come up with something by the end of the session. That something, again, depends on you whether you want to keep it a secret for yourself or you want to share with others and you want to network with people and create something new out of it. Okay? But then again, remember, whatever you create here may not be applicable out there. You have to test it out. You have to go out and check. Okay? So, training needs analysis. Very simple definition is identifying the gap. What needs to be achieved, the performance, the productivity and whatnot, and where people are at currently. Between this, you already see there are some issues. Because why? Some people don't know what is the gap. Some people, some majikan, those of you who have had encounters with majikan, you will realize that some of the majikan out there, they cannot articulate their needs properly. Give you an example. Okay. We move away from the technicalities of training and development. Basic. You go to a fast food restaurant. How many times have you seen in front of you, could be a couple, could be a group of people, trying not to stereotype, but usually the same gender will be a bit taking a bit of a time to decide what to eat in front of the counter. How many of you seen that? Tengah beratur ni, kat depan ni, cannot decide, why that one also nice, this one also nice, that one also nice. Have you seen that? And the best part is, they were queuing with you a few minutes before, but still undecided, still don't know what to eat. They are in that shop already. This is the thing. Now imagine if they were to articulate their training needs, the gap to you, if they get to talk to you. But if they go through intermediaries, people in between, imagine HODs having to explain the gap of their employees to HR. They may use technical jargons, words that HR may not be familiar with, maybe. And now HR has to communicate that with the training providers. Fun fact, they cannot decide straight away on which training provider, so they ask for 3 quotations. So come 3 training providers coming in. How many of you experienced this? I'm not sure yet which one to take, so I cannot give you much information. So the 3 training providers come, speaks to the HR, may not get the whole picture. Now these training providers, out of 3, probably 2 of them are training providers that don't have their own trainers, that are utilizing freelance trainers. So now they have to go back, look into their database, trying to think of which trainer would fit this particular job. And when I say fit, it can mean many things. What could be number 1? What could be the first criteria? Again? Exactly, price. Not really subject matter expert, because usually subject matter expert is going to be expensive. It sounds expensive. So they'll go with price. And then they'll ask you for your outline. When they ask for your outline, you give one generic outline because you don't have much information. And then this particular outline goes to the HR. Now the HR has to decide. So this is the common scenario, because like I said, I was an employee asked to train my internal people. I was also a freelance trainer. And now I'm also a training provider. I've gone through the stages, and roughly I know more or less how it is out there. So let's do a quick pulse check, okay, on the gap right here. So where is actually the gap? Is it really just dollar and cent? So what could be the gap? I don't have the answer to tell you right now. This is where we together, all of us, 198 of us, have to go out there and try to identify what's the gap. Because the gap can mean many things. It could be training, it could be non-training. It could be just equipment issue, right? You know, people invested a lot in equipment, spend a lot. They need to utilize the equipment for the entire lifetime of that equipment. So the equipment could be old. Through my train-the-trainer session, I came across one particular participant who worked in KLIA, baggage area. And he shared something with me that sparked my mind, and I thought, wow, this is something that I never realized. KLIA has been around for how many years? Anybody? Since 1998 macam tu kan? The baggage system down there, all the equipment is from 1998. We are now in 2024. And I think I've been cursed with this knowledge, because when I came back from what was it? KK, my baggage got lost. Now, and then there is also the habitual things. Malaysians kan, kita suka tunjuk lah, kita travel kan. So some of these baggages, they never took out the stickers. So when the bag goes in, the bag cannot read the right stickers. So now your baggage is being put somewhere, and then now they need to sort it manually, and now you complain about flight is delayed. So imagine if you go there and train those people in KLIA and you're talking about productivity. What do you think their response is going to be like? You get clever critics in the room. They say, how long have you been a trainer? How long have you been training the system? They will ask you that question. Have anybody encountered such clever critic questions? Now, why do you think is it they're just trying to make your life as a trainer miserable? No, right? They're criticizing through the content out loud, because you're the only person who is supposed to be there to hear this feedback and do something about it. I selalu kena tembak as a trainer. Nervous nak naik atas ni, takut you all semua tembak saya. But that's part and parcel of being the person up front. The training provider, okay, dia diam-diam, angkat tangan kat belakang, I want to make money, diam-diam. I know, because I'm also a training provider. But this is the actual gap that we are facing. Boleh faham Okay, now, moving along. Okay, trainer and training provider. Let's talk about the skill gap of a trainer and training provider. Can I get some help to bring up the whiteboard, please? One by one. Careful the steps, Okay, let's discuss skills, competencies of trainer and training providers. Maybe from here, we'll have a better picture of what's to think about. Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully you guys from there can see. Okay. Terima kasih. Okay, let's start with a trainer. What are the competencies of a trainer? Anyone? Yeah, that's a requirement. As a trainer, certification and all that is part and parcel of what we call requirements. Trainer, I'll put here TP. So, by the way, we need to make this a little bit interactive, so that I want the inputs from you, not from me. Okay, so number one, what do you think a trainer needs to have? TPT is a requirement. Okay, first things first. What was I saying? Somebody said something? Experience. Lagi? Knowledge. Lagi? Alright, all of that we sum up into one word. The trainer needs to be a subject matter expert, betul tak? You cannot have somebody who is not an expert in one field teaching another field. Soft skill, different story. Because soft skill goes across the board. So you can have a technical trainer who can also teach soft skill. But a soft skill trainer may not be able to teach technical skills. Make sense? How many subject matter experts do you think is in the country? Ramai tak? Of course ramai. So number one, the first thing as a trainer and training provider, please also take a look at this. Your trainer as a training provider, your trainer, and for all of us as trainers, we have to take a look at this. What is our subject matter area? What is our expertise? What are you good at? We have to take a look at this. Once we identify what is our subject matter, then life becomes a bit easier. Now, of course, people judge being an expert in different terms. But again, an expert is very subjective. I could be an expert SKM tahap 3. I can teach tahap 3 and below. You get what I mean? So, when we say expertise, you have to judge. The trainer needs to declare, comfortably needs to declare, I only know this. But again, banyak trainer dia susah nak cakap dia tahu sikit. Betul tak? Nanti orang tak nak ambil you. So you tend to say you know a lot. But anyway, never mind. You have to be comfortable with this first. Then you need training skills. Because it's no use you have all of this knowledge, experience, competency if you cannot transfer those know-how to other people. Betul tak? So, what are the things you need to have here? You can break it down into the basic 3 Ds. The first D, take a guess. Anybody? Deliver. A lot of people tend to say deliver. Of course, deliver is here. The third one. The first thing, before you deliver, you need to do something. Yeah, you need to design. So you need to know instructional design methodologies. You need to be able to design. So you design a training. Then what else you need to do? Between design and deliver, you need to do something in between here, another D. Yeah, content, yeah. What about the content? What do you do? Exactly, you develop the content. Now, competencies here, and here is different. Somebody mentioned attend TTT. 5 days cannot cover all of this. Trust me. Trust me. Because I also do TTT. Tak cukup. Everybody come for TTT, end goal is to get the certificate. So the focus is on making sure that they do well for the final assessment. So that is the reality. But anyway, so design requires creativity, structured approach. There's a lot of competency here. Now, developing the training materials, intellectual property, you need to be aware of intellectual property. You curi intellectual property orang, and then you marah training provider curi ataupun distribute your training outline. Kan? Tapi you punya slide gambar, you ambil slide orang. Where got road? Mana boleh? Doesn't make sense. Okay, so you need to learn how to develop, of course, slide design skills, slides, apa semua, all of that, and then delivery, of course, you need to be able to deliver training. So trainer, setter, training provider, berapa ramai? Again, training providers. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Training providers, these are a few things that you need to do. Number one, you need to be able to do sales. Betul tak? Then you're going to be here for 2 days. Who's going to do the sales for you? 2 hari, time loss. So I understand when you come here, you try to sell. But again, when I say sell, selling a training requires a different skill set. It's not like pushing a product through. Those of you may be aware, if a product you can, belilah, cubalah. But training you cannot do that. Dia ada lebih sikit. But the thing is, a lot of people, and trainers also alike, because they are not so well versed with sales, so what do they do to cover their weakness in terms of selling? They do the next one, and a lot of people combine these two together. Marketing, although always being put as marketing and sales and marketing, it is two different skill set that requires two totally different knowledge, skill and behavior. A lot of people, they takut nak buat sales, so they fall back into marketing. They market. All their efforts, all the thing that they do is mostly on marketing. Not really going out there, meeting people, closing, prospecting. Their idea of prospecting, I'm sure the team from HRD Corp will always get this question. They will always come during open day, go to the counter, they ask, can I have a list of the contributors? They are asking for the name list of majikan, employees who contribute to the fund. Why do they ask from HRD Corp? What do you think? They want to approach lah. But now tak boleh because we have, so you need to go up there and do sales splits. The more you do sales, the more you get to know about the actual training needs required. So okay, sales, marketing, and then slowly we go into the business operation, right? So when you do business operation, you need to hire, right? So you have HR, and then you need to do, this is where a lot of people have a lot of issues. Clients wants to claim from their fund. So what do we need to do? What knowledge do we need to have? We need to know what forms to fill up, how to log into E3s. Not going there, very sensitive. Challenge kan? Don't worry, things are moving forward, things are going to change, insyaAllah. By the way, I don't work for HRD Corp, so... Okay, so you need to do the admin part. And the admin part kadang-kadang pening kepala lah. The employer, last minute change participants. They change. And you guys know, the training providers know this. If more than 30% of the name changes, your claim sangkut kan? So suddenly now, supposed to be doing this, now you are stuck here. Because job already done, service rendered, now you need to make collection. If your documentation out, habis. Betul tak? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apa lagi? What else? One more. We have sales, marketing, operation, HR, admin. Yes. The collection tu semua lah, tax. Oh, by the way, good news kan? 8% So you see, from here you notice dah. Straightforward, you know. The skill set of a trainer and a training provider is different. So those of you who are trainers, having the dream to become training providers, because you're upset your training provider did not pay you well, like me. Kan? Asyik lambat, asyik tak dapat, asyik last minute tukar dates, so you feel upset, you say, never mind, I do it myself. It's like Thanos, reaching for the gauntlet and say, never mind, I'll do it for myself. You go out there and then you realize, you're screwed. Because why? Skill set different. Okay, so now you get the idea behind it. Understand? Yeah. Can I get the whiteboard to be pushed this way? So, moving on. Training providers, based on a recent survey that has been done, I managed to identify a few common and interesting things that trainer and training provider always talk about. For the trainers, thank you very much, guys. Number one, always lack of opportunity. Newly certified trainer trying to find a job, trying to get a training gig, sangat susah. Why? People don't give you chance. It's always, you don't have enough experience. I've never tested you before, so don't know. Alhamdulillah, we have National Training Week, so at least you can use that platform to showcase your ability. Do that, guys. Okay? Offer a chance to experience your good training. Okay? So always lack of opportunity, number one. Number two, issue of visibility. But then again, if you look at this, does a trainer needs to be very visible? Not really, but they need to be visible to whom? Networking very crucial. Come and network here, very good idea, because same mindset. Now, if you go and network in different types of networking, I've been through some, not a fan, but you should network with like-minded people, because there are people who is just focused on making money. There are some people who are focused on doing the right things for the country. Big difference. In between pun ramai. Okay. Next, pricing. This is the one that we mentioned earlier on. You got to know how to calculate your rates. This is not my place to talk about it, but like any other product, you need to know how to do costing. You need to know your man days. How much is your man days? Because why? Trainer needs to design and develop, but you are being paid for deliver. So make sure you factor in. Sometimes we don't factor in, so we only take up the training delivery punya portion, and then we end up being frustrated because we invest in books. If you go to Sutaya ke Kinokuniya ke, you'll be paying like 400, 500 ringgit per book. And intellectual property, you cannot replicate everything from the book. Careful, don't do that. You will get very upset. So you reference the book, okay, no problem. But again, investment. Okay. So on the training provider side, now this is where we take a look at some interesting gaps. Training provider always have issues with trainers' availability. Why? Good trainers are always occupied. Again, good, very subjective, good. Good comes from familiar. Familiar comes from having opportunities, working together. So you know your expectation as a training provider is met with a particular set of trainer. You don't actually want to take the risk of utilizing a younger person, somebody is new, because you're still not sure. Malaysia in general, Cik Sophia mentioned a little bit about we are going with lower value like manufacturing and whatnot. I like to share another thought. Malaysia has very low tolerance for failure. You check with your parents. If they are proud of you right now, today, but most of our parents kan, oh, you get 6A, dia tanya, why not 7? But mom, there's only 6.